I realized that I was supposed to actually be talking about the Mermaid film, and all the things that I wanted to say. I ended up just forgetting in the last video. But yeah, so things that I liked. I definitely liked the person they chose to play that. But I noticed that in the original, because I'm major fan on the original. But yeah, she is supposed to get washed up onto the beach, and Eric is supposed to meet her on the beach and then take him into the house, her into the house. And I feel like that story kind of makes more sense because um, Eric is supposed to be kind of like, I guess, like the owner of the house, whereas in this story they kind of changed it and made him like just the prince, but his mother was black and his father sort of looked mixed race, but he was like pure white. So it was kind of, it looked like almost like they'd adopted a child, adopted him rather than. Um, so it was a bit like, oh, that's slightly different. I loved how the Ariel's father had lots of kids, but they were all like of different races. And it occurred to me that very few films actually do that. Like a lot of films create this sort of alternate universe, alternate world, but in almost every single case, it's always mother, father, children, mother, father, children. Like you could go to a different world, lots of different worlds, and almost everywhere is always, two parents, a male and a female with kids, and well, this idea of King Triton, it's almost like he was deliberately just getting lots of different women pregnant and having kids with lots of different races to have kids of different races. Did I say that properly? And it's, yeah, I actually kind of like that idea because I feel like that's actually the truth about the God the Father. Ariel's father represents God the Father, and technically God the Father is just world leaders. World leaders are all over the world in all different races, and so this God the Father is basically, he has kids with Chinese people and Asian, and because Christianity is everywhere. So I liked that. And then I guess the humans were, I don't know. I think you could see it as like the mermaids being sort of like Christians, and the humans being slightly smarter people or something. And the mermaids believe that the humans are the horrible evil ones, just like the Christian, or a lot of Christian conspiracy theorists would believe that celebrities are like all devil worshippers or whatever, and vice versa. The humans think that the mermaids are all devils. So you've got like this division of that as well. And but yeah, I definitely preferred, if I was to do a video of this, I would definitely prefer to get washed up on the beach, meet the prince there, because I feel like that's a more realistic view. You know, the because it doesn't make sense that Ariel was just picked up off the sea naked and then dumped kind of in a small fisherman's thing. I mean, technically she looked like a slave girl because of having no clothes and because of not being able to speak. And I'm pretty sure if that was a realistic story, the fisherman wouldn't be sending her to go and live with the prince and get dressed up in lots of clothes. I mean, he'd be sending her to the market to be sold off as a slave. So yeah, that's there was a slight change that was very unrealistic, I felt, because yeah, they kind of just took her into the castle and then started getting her into nice clothes. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do that, like especially not if she couldn't even speak or anything. But it makes more sense the cartoon version where Eric actually meets this person and feels like he recognizes her. And I feel like in this film, Eric didn't seem to recognize, or maybe a little bit, but I just felt like the connection wasn't quite as strong. And yeah, it didn't make sense that his wife, his mother, was a completely different color. So, but I like the film, but still, and I also noticed that I didn't like the fish because it was like a black and white fish with a bit of yellow on, and then it kind of occurred to me that flounder is actually an orange fish, and then it's like, oh, I've got orange fish too. I've got orange fish, and I've got guppies that keep having babies, and then the babies get eaten. Yeah, I've They had six babies, and then I had I think a couple more babies, but I was away and I came back and only one was left. So, and then in the then there was another set a month later. Every month, that the thing is though, it's really strange with the guppies because I had one that kept getting pregnant, that got pregnant every single month, and she died because I think she gained some sort of infection. And then I got two new ones so that the horny guppy, male guppy, wouldn't keep having sex with her, but rather have sex with the other two. And but yeah, he never got. He hasn't. I've had those for about 2 months. One died last week. One of those two died last month. And but neither one of them have got pregnant or anything. So he's like he was getting one of them pregnant every single time, and then the other two he never did. So, but yeah, it's a little bit weird. But I do keep checking in there every now and then for guppies. But yeah, the problem is guppies do eat their babies, and I've anyway.